What's happening? Welcome back to Elevate Your Game. And today is our special Thanksgiving episode. So that means I'm back. I get to be on this show for holidays and special events.
Her name's Karina Isabel. She didn't even say her name. So
right.
I'll introduce her. What's happening, y'all? This is Todd Wilson with another episode of Elevate Your Game, where I am the guest today for our holiday special. Karina Isabel is our host.
Yeah. What?
Do it right next time, man. You watch this more than anyone else.
So we're gonna do it right. It's Karina Isabel.
Karina Isabel, my bad.
There we go. All right, we're good. Thanksgiving episode. So we're gonna talk all things gratitude and just kind of give the audience, I guess, things to think about. And then we definitely want to know what you guys are grateful for, obviously. But yeah, what are your feelings about Thanksgiving?
My feelings about Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Growing up, it's always been about tradition, family, and coming together. And so, my best memories are at both of my grandmother's houses. We used to go to one the day of Thanksgiving, and then I would go to my other grandmother's on my dad's side the day after Thanksgiving. And it was always dope to just see the whole family. And that was when I was younger, until I was about, I don't want to say like 13, 14, 15. It was like literally my mom's whole family, where my grandmother had 8 brothers and sisters. And so all the cousins, aunties, uncles, like it was the time to see everybody. And then my grandma's house, when the whole family got together, it was a little smaller, but just the same. And, at one house we had dressing, at the other house we had stuffing. My grandma was white on my dad's side, but it was amazing. I miss it. Both of them. Yeah. Their dressing and stuffing were the highlight of my day. And then as I got older, getting into researching what Thanksgiving is really about, and believing that the Pilgrims and Indians ate together, and finding what really happened on Thanksgiving Day, and kind of having a different feeling about the day, just with the history of it and what we're really celebrating. But then realizing that, it's a day that God has blessed us with to spend time with family. And so, more recently, we just do our own tradition. Now that I have my own family, and we, hang out at one of our, either the in-laws' house or my dad's house, and still same concept, but the big family gathering part is gone.
So it's a lot more intimate.
A lot more intimate, and food's still good. So.
That's funny. I actually, I think when you're younger, school kind of gives you this idea of what Thanksgiving is. And then like when you get older, you're like, dang, you kind of battle this weird of like, I want to see my family, but it's like kind of sucks when you know the history of it all. But yeah, definitely, I think we kept it more intimate my entire life. Like I have 3 older brothers, so we're kind of not a big family, but it's like us. And then as my brothers had kids, added in and all that. But yeah, my brother's in-laws are Salvadorian, and then my mom's Mexican. So, and my mom used to work in the prepared food section at Whole Foods. So she has all the Whole Foods recipes for like random like salads and green beans and all this. Top notch. I am so happy every year. Very excited.
I think I'm going to crash. Like I'm coming over tomorrow. Like what?
You get to do 2 Thanksgivings.
Got 3.
3. What 2 do you do?
The in-laws.
Oh, right, you do 2.
My dad and then the in-laws. So 3.
I think that's a good idea. We used to go to my godmother's after, which was also fun, because then my godmother is Salvadorian and my godfather is Mexican too. I think we have a thing. We're just keeping it Salvadorian Mexican everywhere.
Wow.
But hopefully.
To Mr. Isabel, whoever he is.
Mr. Isabel is hilarious. That's funny. But yeah, I think one thing about Thanksgiving, I actually never thought about it this way, but Dwayne Wade posted on his page, it was like, he loves Thanksgiving. He said it was like his favorite holiday, but he said it's because like it is a day that's in the calendar to be thankful. Like it is actually a day that everybody sees in the calendar of just like, hey, this is a day, just be thankful. Like reflect on your life and what are you thankful for? And he's like, when I thought about it that way, I was like, man, I take it like for granted that I just try to stay thankful most of the year, but I can't even imagine how much it affects people not thinking about what they're thankful for. Because I think a lot of people, especially in LA, I mean, it's a hustle city. Like you're constantly, what's next? So I like that for Thanksgiving, it's like that little moment that everybody just sits and is like, dang, like what am I thankful for? Whether it's you get asked or you just see other people saying what they're thankful for, so you reflect.
Yeah.
So I think, I know the benefits of what being grateful has like brought me, and just brought me peace and all that. But I think I learned a lot from you, because your view of gratitude and all that through Bible-based and like God-based has really opened my eyes to a different side of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I think it's about, that's what you wake up doing. That's how I start my prayers, is just being grateful and thanking God for just him and the love that's around us, and the trees and all the little simple things. Like, if we really just take a deep breath and look around us and see that all that we're blessed with, regardless of the struggle, that we're all going through something right now, right? And to know that, hey, everything's going to be okay. Like, somebody has gone through what you're going through now. Somebody's going to go through it in the future. We're going to make it through. It may hurt. It may break you down a little bit. You got to get built back up. But if we stay in that grateful place, it's easier to smile. That's what it is for me. Is like, I got to thank God for my wife. I have to thank God for my kids. I got to thank God for all my friends, and like where we're at. Like, we're better than when we were a few months ago, a few days ago, a few years ago. So, no, I think that's the key to staying humble and ambitious, right? The moment we're not grateful for what we have and where we're at, it can, it can send us down the path of destruction.
yeah.
I think.
And the path of destruction is a lot of mental health. And I think a lot of people don't see it as mental health issues. But I think that's like the biggest thing. I mean, we all talk about it a lot more now than we used to. And I actually looked up, I was like, okay, I know what's helped me in staying grateful, but I was like, there's scientific backing to this for sure. So I came with notes, people. Okay, so it reduces stress and anxiety. Because if you are focusing on what you're grateful for, you're not focusing on what you're worrying about.
Yep.
So it's like that shift. Like, your brain can't think of two things. Like, you're focused on whatever you're focused on. So if you're worrying about tomorrow, and I mean, that's even a Bible verse. Like, you can take everything honestly back to the Bible, because it's like, do not worry for tomorrow, but like focus on today. And so that's a huge thing. Builds resilience, because it's like, when you hit any type of challenge or anything, if you are able to combat that challenge with a thankful heart, or like even a thankful mindset, you're building up that resilience. So the more challenges that come, you're already built. And I think that's one thing that people maybe don't think about, because some people is like, well, I haven't gone through anything. It's like, no, there's resilience. Like, you're constantly going to hit resilience, and everybody's looks differently as well. Like, some people's looks a lot harder to go through, and they face a lot more due to whatever circumstances. Improves emotional regulation, because if you learn how to like change, and it actually says like it can help with your hormone balance, because it's like, if you're constantly getting worried, like the emotions that you're letting out are different. So that's like the whole, which ones were they exactly? It was like dopamine and serotonin. So it's like, it actually says an exercise you can do, and it lowers your depression as well. So if you're feeling any symptoms of depression, if you do just listing like 3 things you're grateful for in that moment, it releases slowly like serotonin and dopamine into your brain, which is combating the sadness and like feeling of hopelessness and all that. So I thought that was amazing, because I'm like, I think that's one thing a lot of people don't even think about. Like, obviously, if you're going through mental health issues, seek out support and help. Reach out to friends, reach out to mentors. There's lines that you can reach, therapy, all that.
And pray.
Prayer is huge. Definitely pray. That helped me. I think that's like, maybe I'm speaking from a moment of like testimony of just like, man, 2 years ago, of being the lowest I ever was. And then I remember sitting there and I was just like, God, I'm thanking you ahead of time, because I know I'm not going to be in this forever.
Yeah.
And that shifted my entire way that I dealt with anything. So it's like, I just thanked him for the day that I would be happy. I thanked him for the day I would wake up excited for life. Yeah. I thanked him for the day that I'd be living my dreams. And this was in a moment of not liking what I was, like the life I was in, feeling sad every morning, going to sleep, hoping I wouldn't wake up, all this, but I thanked him ahead of time. Yeah. So it's like, to do that, it was out of faith, and it taught me how to have a posture of gratitude. So even all my prayers started off with just thank you. And instead of praying like, God, I would like to see this happen, I'm just like, God, thank you that your will be done in this. God, thank you that if it works out, it's because you want it and it's going to be perfect and it's going to come at the right time.
Yeah.
So like all my prayers have switched. So I never ask, or I try not to. My biggest thing is like not asking for what I want, but thanking him ahead of time for what he wants for me.
Yep.
But yeah, there's scientific backing to it. So I thought that was amazing.
No, that's dope. No, that, I
mean,
it makes sense because it does. It like, it makes you excited about life. Like for the moments, and if your mindset's not wired to be grateful, how do I change my mindset? That's what I'm thinking about, is like for the people who are like, yeah, that all sounds good, but that doesn't happen for me.
Yeah.
You have to force it.
Yeah.
You have to put posters on your wall. You have to put a reminder on your phone. Hey, stop, put an alarm on your phone. Hey, what are you grateful for right now? Mm-hmm. And to create that different mindset. That's what this life is about, is having our mind and our heart set on the right things.
Yeah.
And so create accountability towards that. When you talk to your friends, like don't let me say anything negative. Let me talk about what I'm grateful for. And let me make goals and work towards those goals and be grateful for where I'm at in the process. Like everything we do is about the process you go through on your way to getting to the goal. Like I've hit so many goals in my life and I don't even, people are like, man, I can't believe you did this. And I'm like, yeah, I did it. And I don't remember that. But what I remember is I overcame.
Yeah.
I overcame this feeling. I overcame this obstacle. That's what I remember more so. So I know like, oh, I've seen this before. I can do that. Even like more recently, right? Like this being our last year at Heritage. Everybody else is like, yo, you should be like, they're upset, they're angry, and they're like looking at me and I'm like, yeah, I got peace. Mm-hmm. I'm grateful for the 10 years I was at Heritage. I'm grateful for the people I met. I'm grateful for all the lives I've impacted. Do I want things to be different? Absolutely. But I'm grateful that it's time to pivot and be somewhere else and do something else. And that's all I can focus on. Yeah. I can't sit there and sulk in the feeling of, you know, things didn't go my way. I was like, no, I'm grateful. I'm grateful as much as it makes me mad. And people are mad for me and I love that. Thank y'all.
You're welcome.
All y'all who are upset for me.
I'm speaking on behalf of everybody. You're welcome.
Yes, for real. And that's dope. Yeah. And I love that support. And I hope what everyone sees is that God is good. Yeah. And I'm grateful. Truly grateful. It's not a game. I'm not saying it to overcome the anger. I've already been mad. I've already been sad about it. I've literally went through those emotions. But even through that, I was grateful. Yeah. Like I left the meeting where they're telling me that core can't be at Heritage anymore. I left and said, hey, I'm grateful for y'all. I'm grateful for every year, every day, every moment I was here. Because it impacted so many people, including myself and my family. Like core wouldn't be what it is without those 10 years. And so many doors flew open as well when that happened. And it's like, okay, God has a plan. And it's my job to just stay in this place of thanking him and staying mentally healthy, staying in that grateful place. Yeah. And that's what I had to do. So
yeah, I'm definitely grateful for core. I think that's definitely one of the big things that like there's the like what are the biggest impacts in your life like that you're just grateful for that came into your life. I think core might be in my top 10 of like my 26 years. It's a lot, okay? Because I think the first time I started working for you was 2019 to 2020. That was the first time I ever went. That's when Elijah Arenas was there, Isaiah Elohim, like.
Oh, Elijah was a 6th grade little kid.
Yeah. To see him now, it's like, I wasn't there for his years. Unfortunately, I did move away during that time. But like, even, it's funny because I moved and left core. I moved back and entered right into core. Mm-hmm. So it's like such a poetic thing too, because it's like, that was literally my last job in LA before I left. And then even the reason I moved back was because of core. Like you gave me that opportunity to enter back. You did give me the admin position, but it was not working out. Listen, emails.
You did that?
Yeah, you had me on emails.
Don't remember that at all because we had to forget about it. Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you work in
for
your
the sake
gifting.
of our friendship.
Right. You had to work in your gifting.
Which is funny, but yeah, I entered core with just like checking your emails and all that, and then slowly like transition. But core found me in a place where I was going through like separation, and it was man, I'm forever grateful for that class specifically.
Yeah.
That, man, I don't even want to name them all because then I feel like I'm going to
Well, no,
forget
it's
them.
crazy. We're at a game yesterday, so Cressy's playing Village Christian, and they all show up. Like,
That's amazing. So all the extra, like other kids.
everybody else, and there was no
Dang, I
other
thought you
game.
just
So
meant,
you got the Barnes boys, Nikon,
Dion.
Dion, Andrew, who's older than you, but Alex is on the court. So those kids are on the court, and then got JoJo, Cole, Dino, Bryce, Elijah. Who else am I forgetting? Jordan. Like literally everybody's there.
From that class?
Deuce is playing in his game at Campbell Hall, but
that's where I was. Yeah.
everybody was there. And then Noelani calls.
Oh, that's
And
crazy.
they all go crazy.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That was a really good class, and they. I mean, yeah, I'm grateful for that class specifically because I was just going through my separation. They didn't know that.
Right.
At all, obviously. I think you were the only one that knew, but I showed up from the day that right after, like I showed up every day, and I showed up every day, and I just like, I was not feeling it, but I showed up, and then the way they'd get excited, because I had a camera and they were just like excited to just get filmed or like photos, whatever, and it's like they didn't know if I was good or not. They were just excited, and then it was like this. They were just so sweet, and now like what is it, 2 years later, they still just get even more excited when they see me like get into the gym or like come to their games or anything. And I'm like, that's a love that I never thought I'd experience. Like, man, I used to want a little brother. Now I have like 25 little brothers going everywhere.
It's for real.
It is insane. But yeah, Corey came in, and it's like, and that's where I feel like I'm the same as you. I just had peace. Like I remember you told me, and you asked me how I felt, and I was like, I'm angry for you, but at the same time, I have peace about Corey. Because it just felt too poetic. Like 10 years, like it could have been an odd number, but I'm like, at a 10-year anniversary, like that's beautiful. That's God, like God's poetry.
Yeah.
And I think we're all leaving with this sense of gratitude for the years. The other part was not like in my top 10, but just even how our podcast, like the last studio, and it like not knowing what's about to happen is like, well, God, we're just thankful that we had a studio for this amount, for a year, not knowing where we're gonna go. And it's like, if God would have told us this was going to be our situation right after, like...
I wouldn't believe it.
But it's because we went into it with gratitude.
Yep.
I feel like God honored that. Like thanking him ahead of time that he knew what was going to happen. And we just went into it with gratitude.
Thanks, Demetrius. Grateful for you, brother.
Shout out. So yeah, what are I'd say like top 3 things this year. Let's just keep it to this year.
Top 3 things I'm grateful for?
Yeah.
And so even in being grateful, it's tough to answer that question because there's so many things. I am grateful for sure. Just I'm gonna say my family. I'm gonna put my wife and my kids in the same thing. Just my family for putting up with me and all my helping everybody and their mama. And it's no, I want people to understand this, and this is everybody. It's not just me. I'm not looking for anybody's sympathy or whatever. I'm saying that when I'm spending time with someone else's kids, I'm not spending them with mine. And I'm grateful that my kids, I think they understand it. They're young now, right? And my wife understands that I have to do certain things that it sacrifices time with them. And they love me more than anything. My son is my literal shadow. I can't go anywhere without him right behind me on my heels saying dada. He calls everybody dada at that. Like he just wants everybody to be me. And I love that. So, and my daughter is very aware of when I leave now. And like, Daddy, I don't want you to go, and literally hang on to my leg until I'm out the door. And, my wife literally I know when she's had a long day when I'm gone. And I come home and she just looks at me with those beautiful eyes, with love, and I don't know what the other word is, like, I wish you were here, whatever that look is, and says, I love you, babe. And she knows that, she knows I'm out here trying to make things happen for our family. And so grateful for them. That's numero uno. I'm grateful for you. And sticking with, don't cry.
Oh my God.
Don't cry. I'm grateful for you just trusting me and sticking with me on this media journey. And like, you're part of our family support system. And your growth, right, allows all this to happen. And trusting yourself, allows it to happen. And so just grateful that you trusted me and Ashley to help, pull you out of well, God pulled you out of it, but the vessels he used, help you put you out of something crazy, and to trust yourself, because look at us.
Yeah.
Who
Who
would
would
have
have
thought?
thought?
Not me, right? And so grateful for you, and I'm going to put all my like close team together. The Brandons, Zach, Najim, EJ, like everybody on staff, Nathan, Daylan, all the people who work at Core. I'm putting y'all into one bucket, but Russ, like all those people who were just like there for me, and so I'm just grateful for people. Like humans are the best, man. Like a lot of people don't like humans, and they start liking animals. Like I never understood that. Like I'm an animal person, I don't like humans. Like, yeah, you need to check yourself. You need to look in the mirror and get rid of your insecurities, and start loving people, because there's nothing that can give you life more than a human. When it's like God, we're made in God's image. Like there's so much power and love and all these other things inside of us if we allow it to unlock. But we get in our own way because we've been hurt. We don't trust God, so we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust other people. But there's a way to do all that the right way, and understand people are people. I made mistakes this year, right? Even with you, like I made mistakes, and it didn't change my love. It didn't change like who I really am or who you are. Like we're going to do that. Let's understand each other and move on, right? And so my support group, headed by Karina. And third, man, what am I grateful for? I'm gonna call it God's alignment. His alignment has been special, so special. The things that I dreamed of years ago are just happening, and back to back to back. And the people I'm meeting that have they had nothing to do with anything at the time came together at the right time for this alignment. The words that I speak, the presentations I put together to pitch something is aligned with the people in the room perfectly. Like, someone said after I presented them something, said I had a checkbox of what I wanted for this, and you checked every single box. It's like only God, because that what I put on the presentation, the paper, it flowed out. It was aligned exactly what it was supposed to be. And the people who were supposed to be in my life, the decisions that were made for me to not be at Core there, and for all those things, it's aligned. And so I'm just grateful for his alignment.
I was gonna say, because I think that's what's crazy about like when some things are taken, we're like, why God? But it's like, no, I need you available for this.
Man.
And because I know the BTS behind the scenes stuff of what you mean and those goals, it's like I remember like everything unfolding just made so much sense, and it's crazy.
The timing of it was just like goal 1, goal 2, goal 3.
Yeah.
Now it's a Chris Johnson. Thanks, Chris.
That's funny. Dang. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. No, that's gratefulness. And I have a friend, I'm not going to say their name. I have a friend who gasses people up. It is his gift. Gas people up. And it is with a sincere heart, but he definitely overdoes it on purpose. But he makes people feel really, really, really special. And he can talk to anyone and make them feel like they're loved and accepted with the gasoline that he pours on people. And that to me is gratefulness, that he has the opportunity to do that whenever he comes in contact with somebody. We all have a gift, and it is literally our job to give that gift to everyone we come into contact with without expecting anything back. The gift that God has given us, that's it. Like whatever that is, if it's an encouraging word, if it's, a smile, whatever that is, like that's gratefulness exemplified. It's like, God, thank you. You gave me something. Let me give it away. Let me give it to everyone.
And it
'Cause
multiplies it too.
that
You're never gonna
100%.
run out.
Being able to just give freely is
Mhm.
gratefulness to me, and so that's what I'm about. That's that, and this just happened like a few weeks ago, like the revelation of, man, what's your gift? Now go give that away.
Yeah.
God will do the rest. That's it. God provides it, and so. So I'm listen. Any basketball any connection that you need to get to the next level in your life, I'm giving away for free. That resource is free from me from now on. I actually tried to sell it before. I tried to become a broker of business things that didn't make sense. That's not what this gift is for.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a bridge to wherever you go, because God said, like, I want y'all to know that, like, if you need a connection to somebody I know, now you got to come correct. I'm not connecting if you're not correct,
Yeah.
and if it's not aligned with, what God wants, for sure. But I want to be that bridge, because that's my gift. I just know a lot of people, and I simplify the process that people think it takes so long to get somewhere, when it's like, no, just pick up the phone.
Yeah.
If it's God ordained, it's gonna happen. Like, if this is supposed to happen, it's gonna happen if you take that faith jump. And so, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you definitely connected me. I think you're like, what is it? A domino effect. Like, you were the first domino. So I'm like, this is my thank you to you.
Yeah.
And I mean, not often, but I am like very, very thankful, because like you said, you got me out of a crazy situation, and then just slowly through mistakes, even your grace for my mistakes and my mental health has been in a random roller coaster of everything, due to different reasons. And the amount of grace that you've had in this, and like just me figuring the podcast stuff out. And then from then, even when my fear was when I got more clients, like, it was that time management thing. And even then you had grace. It's like, okay, well, let's figure that out. Let's figure out, like, how can we make it easier on you? How can we do this? But yeah, I'm thankful for that, because I think the person that people know, like, it's still so weird to me that people come to me for like podcast stuff. So I'm like, I literally just had cameras. You guys, like, I don't know when I became the person, but like, to now the people I'm working with, like, for podcasts and like running them and like helping teams and like all that is just
your gift.
Podcasts? Or
No.
I think podcasts are probably the random bridge.
You get vision, like, you see the vision and you know how to do it. You just go, and it's the faith. That's the faith jump that I'm talking about. It's like, you were like, oh, I want to work with these people.
Yeah.
All right, I know a way. Let's just do this.
Yeah.
And you started working with those people like very shortly after. It wasn't even like, it was a God ordained. It was like, oh, you visualize this wall, and we built it.
Yeah.
Like, I put those shelves up, you painted the basketballs, and we just put them up. Like, it wasn't like, this design is amazing. Like, people come through to this studio where we're at, where there's multiple studios, and come and look at this room I've had 3 people hit me up like, hey, can I just come see your studio? Like, the design is amazing. And these are like, I didn't even tell you about this. These are like real, like, design people that work on films and all this kind of stuff. When you have the vision, you're like, oh, you can actually put people's visions.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it. Like,
Delight?
implement it, like, put it, like, you make it happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, sure. I think I am grateful for that. That's like the random, I remember you always said, like, what's the gift that you're not using? Like, what's a gift that you have that you're not using? For some reason, I don't know if it was my pandemic life of just watching a million interior design shows, but like, that's what I get called for. Like, that's how I actually got in with Dwayne. Like, I just got called to paint a wall and kind of like give an idea of what the podcast background should look like. And now, thank you, Jesus, like, what are we, 11 months in, and still working with him on the podcast? Like, nothing to do with the wall anymore. Like, thankfully.
A little bit. You still
I'm
can
probably
say what
still
happens
gonna,
to that wall.
Yeah, yeah. But it's like, I get to be around and I get to do that. And like, even Chris Johnson, like, he trusts me so much with his office, and like being able to just redesign it. Like, that started off that way. That's what's crazy. Everybody just saw my summer with him of being able to film all his clients. But it's like, I started off with Chris because he told you he wanted to redo the office, and you just called me randomly. You're like, can you get here in the next like hour? And I was like, sure. And I literally got my iPad, put it in my bag, and I was like, I don't know what I'm about to do because I'm not an interior designer. But I'm like, maybe if I carry an iPad, it makes it look a little more real. I was like, I don't know. I literally just
But it
took
was based off the wall that you made for the podcast.
Yeah, and that was even just like I saw a white wall and I was so annoyed by it. I was like, ew, like I'm not allowing this to just be like minimum. Like one thing my mom taught me is like, don't have to do anything. Like make sure everything's like top notch just because it's like, why not? Like it's a reflection of me.
Yeah.
So in anything and everything, like I try, and I think that's where I like kind of fill my plate a little too much because I'm like, I want everything to be perfect. So we're working on that for sure.
We are.
Yeah. We'll work on that. But yeah, interior design might be one of them that's like random. I love it though. Whenever, don't call me too much, but.
No, call her if you paying.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm Karina's manager. If you
guys,
if you guys want any work, just reach out to me. We can
We'll put the email right underneath.
The price is going up in 2025.
Yeah.
She has paid her dues, and
That's crazy.
She's great at what she does. And so,
Even
give me a
the
call
new
if you can afford it.
New adventure that we're going on to, of just like I'm trying to do next, and like started, and even then I started to add a faith too, and it's just because you were like, just go do it, like why not? Yeah. And that like opened doors, and it's like the most fun I've had in probably a really long time.
Yeah, no doubt.
So yeah. Okay, next segment so we can wrap it up.
Okay.
So your Mount Rushmore of Thanksgiving foods.
My Rushmore of Thanksgiving foods, man. It's kind of easy for me. It has to be dressing is one. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know what dressing is. So their stuffing is where you put it inside the turkey and cook it inside the turkey. That's why they call it stuffing. Dressing is when you cook it by itself, okay? And so culturally, the dressing, it's just the texture, the taste, and I feel like I can eat unlimited amounts of it. So fire. Macaroni and cheese. Okay. I need at least 6 layers of cheese. As I get older, the end product of that is not always great. But you gotta eat what you gotta eat. Next would probably be greens. Yeah. Collard greens, not mustard. Sorry, I had to do that. Shots to Kendrick. So collard greens cooked for at least 12 hours. I'm more of a smoked turkey leg, not ham hock kind of guy. Love greens. I used to not eat greens until I was like 15, and then I was done. I'm glad my eyes were open. So greens. Last, man, it might just be some butter rolls, like nice rolls baked with some good butter, and like those. If I could have those, I'm not big on turkey anymore, and so I like brisket or something like that, or some fish, really, for Thanksgiving. But those are my 4 though. Nice. What about you?
Mine are gonna be a little different just because I am Latina.
Okay.
So my brother's in-laws always make pan de pollo, which is a Salvadorian dish, which is like bread with chicken. Ooh, so it's almost like a sandwich, but not like a cool sandwich. Like it's basically this chicken marinated, like shredded chicken marinated in like this tomato salsa. And like it's just, you put it in the middle of a really good like bolillo, which is a bread. And then you add watercress, lettuce, cucumber, tomato, like whatever you really want, whatever you're comfortable with. My mom always has salsa. So like Salvadorians don't really eat spicy food, but because I'm Mexican, I need to add it in. So gotcha. Add my mom's salsa, fire. That's my favorite Thanksgiving thing. And every year, thank you to my brothers in-laws because they provide it and it's so fire. My mom makes tamales sometimes. Tamales is usually like Christmas too, but
I've had her tamales.
Oh yeah, you have.
They are
See,
fire.
Grateful for my mama's tamales.
Grateful for those tamales.
And then I would go my mom's cornbread. She makes fire cornbread. And then I'd probably say her green beans. I know it's random, but she does like the Whole Foods green beans, and they're like crunchy. She like does this, like boils them, but then puts them in like ice cold water, so it keeps the crunch, but they're fully cooked. And then she adds like almonds and I don't know what else, but it's so fun. That's my dish that I can eat so much of it, and it's just like it feels light, but it's really, really good. I don't know what else she adds, so I should probably learn one day. But for now, I am still just I show up and eat. Yeah. Except I'm actually making the mac and cheese this year
Oh.
because of a TikTok recipe.
Oh, from who? Me and
Teeny?
Avery are too.
Teeny, did you see that one? That's the
Mm.
one that's going viral. So
Oh.
if I post this, I made it, and I'm gonna post a video of my mac and cheese. Hopefully it
What
goes
is
well.
it?
It's just like she does like 3 different kinds of cheeses and then like layers it. Like she like does flour. I don't know what else. I'm gonna
Okay.
watch the video again.
Gotcha.
I'll send it to you. You can approve
We
it
have
or not.
Miriam on TikTok. Today, baby. Yeah.
Oh,
Avery
I got
loves her.
Teeny.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
We'll see. Battle of the TikTok recipes.
Yeah, you don't want to see me. Anyway, so I've done this before. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So this is a question for you.
Okay.
So 6 men in basketball theme. What would be the Thanksgiving dish that's a great 6-man representation?
Who's coming off the bench?
Yeah.
Who's coming off the bench and giving you buckets? Oh man, it's gotta be the peach cobbler.
Dang, you went to the dessert
Oh
section.
yeah, that's the 6 man. He coming
Yeah.
through because you
No,
already,
yeah.
you
You
know,
already
got
had
your
the lineup.
starters, and he gonna come through and boom.
Oh, that's perfect.
You know,
Yeah.
I like sweet potato pie, but the peach cobbler.
See, I'm not a fruity dessert person. I don't like apple pies, peaches. Like all fruit I like by themselves. I like with tahini, chamoy, all of that. So like fruit should be cold. But pumpkin pie, that's my thing.
Pumpkin?
Sweet potato.
Okay,
See,
which
I'm
one?
not going into this
No, we
battle
are.
of the pies.
Do you eat pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie?
If I'm honest, I can make a really good sweet potato pie. Okay. It's been approved by people. I don't make it anymore. I haven't made it in a few years.
Okay.
But I did like have a season that I just learned how to make it and I became obsessed and I started making it a lot. I really don't care, if I'm honest.
Okay, that's fair.
I'll eat whatever.
No judgment. Yeah. it's
Do
all
you,
about
you prefer sweet potato?
Yes.
Okay.
I have to. I have to.
Yeah, no. I'll never make pumpkin pie. I'll make sweet potato pie. But if it's there, I'm going to eat whichever one. I don't care. They're both yummy
Yeah.
to me. All right. Fix the net on a misconception about gratitude, Thanksgiving, anything you want.
Misconception about gratitude or Thanksgiving. I think a misconception about gratitude and being thankful, not Thanksgiving specifically, but just being thankful is that you can't truly be grateful if you have an excuse. If you have an excuse of why you should be grateful, if that makes sense. Like gratefulness like is in here. It's a heart condition. It's not oh, she did this for me. I'm grateful for
I'm
her
grateful
doing that.
because she did.
No. It's like a heart, like I'm truly grateful for everything that happens because it's for a purpose and it's for a reason. And so that gratefulness is a long-term look at your life whole and not a single transaction of something.
Yeah.
You know, I think when you're truly just grateful, a grateful person, it transcends in every part of your life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so let's make sure that we're grateful.
Oh my God. I was waiting. I was like, what is he about to do?
First East Bay on the show. There we
Yeah.
go.
All right, that is all. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy thing. I got 2 questions for Karina.
Oh God, we're flipping the script. Okay.
Yeah, flip the script. What are you looking forward to in the next month that will impact your 2025?
Ooh, that's crazy. The next month, I'm looking forward to figuring out or like really planning out this entire docuseries thing that I'm doing and the clients I have, the high school clients I have that I'm shooting with, because I have like their schedule for their season, but I really want to plan out what it looks like and all that. And that's going to impact my 2025 because it's going to set the goals that I set for 2025. I think right now I'm just shooting with like the intention of eventually putting it out and trying to figure out how I want to edit it. But I'm excited for this next month. I actually want to sit down and figure that out. Like when am I dropping? What is it going to look like? How are they going to be separated? Because I think I'm covering about 4 to 5 kids right now for the docuseries. And so it's like, how am I going to split them up? How am I going to tell a story when they're at the same school? Like 2 different narratives, but at the same time, they're in the same team, whatever. So that's what I'm excited about. Like it's going
Have
to
it done by next Sunday.
Haha.
No, seriously.
Okay.
That's just writing it down.
Yeah.
making it clear. You have a week, you know, this next week for you, you're going to have time.
Yeah.
You're going to have time.
Yeah.
Get it done. That's not, you know, I just want to encourage, like, get it done. Do it. There's nothing stopping you. And if it's wrong, you can fix it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Literally just put the dates down, write down what you want done, and put it on paper. Now you know what kind of help you need. I think a lot of times we go and we have ideas and it's dope. You didn't wait till everything was perfect to do this. You were like, nah, I'm just going to go do it. And this is the part where people stumble, is that we get on that road of doing something and then we don't plan. Like, now that you started this, now you have to plan for it.
Yeah.
And so jump with that faith. Now put the plan to action. Like, hey, all right, set goals, set dates, get the help that you need, the resources that you need to carry out that thing, and then see it through.
Yeah.
And then you'll be a lot happier with your results.
Yeah.
So.
And I know for sure, like, my 2025, I want it to look like that. Like, that's what I want a huge part of it to be about. And then just getting, like, into the routine of everything else, just time management. I guess that's more than anything. This next month is like figuring out my time. Yeah. I think we've tried that for the past year. Hopefully this month is the month that we figure it out.
It's always going to change.
Yeah.
I can't work out right now. I feel like, because my mornings are going with, you know, just dealing with stuff. And so that's when I was most consistent working out, and I can't do that right now. So it's an excuse that I'm not working out, but that's when I like to work out. It really impeded on my lifestyle. And so, and it's going to shift again, right? Like, holidays make it interesting just because schedules, like not being in school this week, like I'm staying awake like way longer than I should, but it's because I'm not mentally as exhausted as I am, I think, throughout the day dealing with stuff. But your time is always going to change. So it's okay to have a different schedule one week and then have one totally different the next week, if that's what the season of your life is calling you to. It's about you knowing that, though. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of people, when you're an entrepreneur, it's really tough to be on like a 9-to-5 schedule. It's different when you have a 9-to-5 and you're working for someone. It's like, oh, I don't have to be to work at 9, so I can wake up, I can work out, I can do this. I'm going to work from 9 to 5, and then I do this, and that's great. When you're an entrepreneur, we have to do like our schedules. Literally, we were like, hey, we got to shoot a podcast today, right? Like, and we just had to go and do it. Like, my whole family schedule got adjusted because of this moment, and that's okay. And so know that, like, if you're not being disciplined, as people call it, the discipline is in that you do know what you're doing every moment, not that it's the same thing every day. And so I think people get lost on that. So it's especially about you controlling it.
What's been portrayed of that 9-to-5, like, wake up at 6, do this until this time. It's like, well, when you're shooting late at night, or like I edit sometimes until 4 in the morning, it's like, it's not realistic to wake up at 6, 2 hours later, and try to start again. It's not. Yeah. Second question. What are you not going to cry about in 2025? Oh my God, probably nothing. I cried about everything. Dude, I cried. So Isaiah Johnson, go check him out if you haven't. Man, he is killer. When he dropped 40 points, I had 2 tears come out. Why? I have no idea. And Zay, if you ever see this clip, leave me alone. I was filming, and as soon as he hit that 40, I was like, you hear it in the camera too, I was like, 40? And my voice cracked, and I had a tear. And I was like, wow. Why? I don't know.
You're happy for him, like happy tears?
So happy. I was just so happy for him. And it's like, not even because it's like this crazy thing that I thought he could never do. It's like, nah, that was like, that's normal. Like, that felt like that was the next step, because he had been dropping 30 something. So it's like, nah, 40, like, man, I was like, man, if you drop 50, that's when I'm like, in this game. If
he wouldn't have got taken out.
Yeah.
Which they were up by a lot. It was a smart choice by the coach. I'm just saying, he probably would have dropped 50 if he played the whole game, but no.
Yeah, exactly. No. I cry a lot. That shows how much I cry. I cry.
No, and that's okay. And I keep on crying. It's okay to cry.
Thank you.
I just want you to be aware of what you're crying about.
Oh, yeah. I haven't cried about anything sad in a really long time.
Oh, so you need to check on that too.
Well, first of all,
like, don't shut your feelings off here.
No. I think like I said, I just view things in gratitude. So even then, like, even if I am crying about sad, I'm also crying because I'm grateful that God's putting me through something to grow. And I see everything as like God being closer to me. Yeah. So, like, even grateful for that. Like, man, God, thank you that you believe I'm strong enough to go through this.
There you go. Love it.
But yeah,
Yeah.
man, we'll find out how many times I cry in 2025. We'll have a counter.
All right. Yeah. All right. We'll put
On
the
the
calendar in
podcast.
here so
Yeah.
people can see.
After every guest, I'm
Right.
gonna have I'm gonna have a whiteboard in the corner.
That's funny.
That's hilarious.
Drop in the comments what you're grateful for this Thanksgiving. Friends, family, food, whatever it is. We are all blessed to be here. We're blessed to be able to just communicate with one another, encourage one another. And thank you for joining us for our Thanksgiving special. Thank you for hosting and making this happen. Just so you guys know, we had a full podcast that we put out. Unfortunately, it had to get pulled off the shelf for a professional reason, which is awesome that we're having that level of guest on our show.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can replace that podcast back on the show list. So
It's a good one.
really good one. And so, yeah, let's finish this year strong. We love y'all and see you guys next time.
And we're grateful for you.
Yeah.
Thank
we're
you
grateful
for
y'all. Yeah,
anybody watching this. Thank
100%. No, thank you guys. We're up to a lot more followers on
Yeah.
Instagram for sure, and a lot more people watching the videos on
Yeah.
YouTube. So
Thank you for
keep
every
tapping
person
in.
that talks to us too in person.
Yeah, Apple. Yeah. Oh man, crazy.
That's beautiful.
So I cried when that happened
Oh,
to me. I was at a football game, a youth football game, and I hope I don't get this guy in trouble. I think it's over now, but the guy at the gate recognized me, and I didn't buy my ticket yet. And he was like, "Yeah, I don't know if you can even buy it because the game had already started." And he just let me in. He's like, "Yo, I appreciate everything you do in your podcast." And
Yeah.
I'm leaving that same game, and some guy, I'm getting in my car. He's like, "Yo, you Coach Todd?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what's up, man?" Like in the middle of the parking lot. He's like, "Hey, man, I watch your podcast, bro. Man, what you're doing is tough. I love everything you do. I watch every episode." I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, I said, I got in the car, little thug tear, like, man, like, what's happening? Because
Yeah.
this isn't, it's not for me. It's not, it's for y'all. It's for y'all. So
Crazy.
thank you.
Yeah. Grateful. I love anytime anybody says that they watch it. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Before I cry, that's a wrap.
Peace.